Hey guys, welcome to this video. And today what we are gonna do, we're gonna make a project that's gonna register a user and log in a user, save the cookies of the user, and show stuff about the user info on the website itself. So the project is gonna be so much fun. We're gonna know so many new theories about hashing the password, protecting the password, saving the user email and ID to the database, making every single user email and unique email. So many things like that we're gonna be doing in this video. This video is going to be about 1 hour and 29 minutes or 1 hour or 31 minutes. It can be around that. So let me just show you a preview of what we are gonna build. This is going to be a homepage that we're gonna be building. Now, if you're gonna click on the register option, they're gonna have a registration here. I'm gonna name it as Elderny developer, and the password is going to be A. Okay, we're gonna click on register, and 1 second, just hold this second. Okay, sorry, the database has been corrupted a little bit. Now we fix the database. If I'm gonna now make the request, it's gonna be registered. Make again. Email has already been registered. Now let me just say one. Email user has been registered. Email has already been registered. Now let's go to login section and say Elderny developer with the wrong password, incorrect password, right password. User has been logged in. And if you go to the home page, you can see we have welcome Elderny developer, our name, and we have the profile and logout option. Profile logout, click on logout, and we're gonna get logged out. So you can see now they're gonna go do like that. So that's all we're gonna be doing in this project. I hope you will like the project, and I will see you in the project. Hey guys, welcome to this video, and this is going to be a full video of we making the website. So as you have already saw the preview of what we are going to do, now let's jump into our actual project that we're going to start. Let me make a new folder. Let me save it as SQL say user page. So now we're going to drag it here. This is going to be a quick tutorial, so we're not going to waste a lot of time. I'm not going to teach you like the other people teach you within 15 hours. Teaches little stuff, so we're gonna be doing a little bit quicker instead. Now we're gonna go to terminal, new terminal. We're gonna here type npm init because we're gonna be using Node.js. We're gonna say npm init. We're gonna set up our npm project, Node JavaScript project. Description nothing. It's okay. Now we're gonna go with clear. Sorry. Oh shit. My mint is clear. So now we need to install a few other things. We're gonna be installing the Express first of all. You need to also install the nodemon at rate of 2.0.7. Don't use the latest version. I don't know, there's some issue with it. Just use this one. How you can install this one, I will just tell you. You need to just go npm first of all npm uninstall globally the nodemon. Then when you have done that, just hit npm install globally at rate of 2.0.7. just do that and it should be working fine. Now here we need to install the Express. We're gonna also install EJS. We will be using the JavaScript template for our homepage only, and we're gonna make our register and a login page in HTML. So don't worry, I will explain you. It's not much of a difficult thing. People use HBS handlebars, and that's a little bit more confusing stuff. So we're not gonna make a total website in EJS. We're just gonna make the homepage in EJS because we wanna show some user details on there. We will be using EJS. We're gonna be having the .env. That means we're gonna be using .env environment variables to protect our password or our database information from being leaked on our server. I'm also gonna use the .env here. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna have the JSON web token. So the JSON web token is actually going to help us make cookie. It's gonna set the value of the cookie. We're gonna make a cookie to save the user login information when he has logged in, so that he don't have to log in every single time he come to the website. And we're also gonna set up some expiry for the cookie after some time the cookie should be expired. And this is just going to set the value of the cookie. And we need to have the MySQL database itself, and we need to have the BigCrypt.js. The BigCrypt.js is actually going to hash our password. It's going to encrypt our password and encode our password, and it's going to save our password in some hashed formats in our database. So if our database got hacked in any case, we should not leak our users detail username and passwords like that. So it's going to actually hash the password, so it means our password will be much more better secured. You just don't put directly, you just don't put the password directly into the database. That's very bad practice, so we're going to be using bcrypt for that. And we will be using, one second, express ejs.env JSON web token MySQL and bcrypt. One second. I think there's something more. We need to have the cookie parser also. So the cookie parser is actually going to help us. Look, we're also going to make a function that's going to help us to log out the user, and the cookie parser is actually going to read the cookies, and we're going to clear the cookies from the browser, so he will be logged out of the account automatically. So that's all. We need to hit enter now, and we're going to be installing all of these modules. Not much of a difficult task. I will be having a comment that's going to mention all of them. Just comment down if I forgot to do that. So I'm gonna do like a clear, and here you can see we have something node modules. I'm gonna make my setup incredibly clear and clean. How are we gonna do that? We're gonna make a different folder for controllers. The controllers is gonna have the JavaScript files that are actually gonna manage the post requests. That means registering the user, logging in the user, logging out the user, and checking if the user is logged in or not. That kind of stuff is going to happen in controllers. Routes are going to manage the user requests. Like user comes to home page, what should be shown to the user is going to manage it by the routes. He goes to the profile page, blah 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 stuff. So everything is going to be managed in the root section, and we're going to have a view section. It's going to be having a index.ejs file. It's must for if we're using a template engine. We're going to only be using the EJS in this case. And normal folder, we're going to have public. Inside the public folder, we're going to have a folder called as JavaScript, and another folder we have as CSS. We will not be using CSS, but I'm showing you as a normal practice. We will be having JavaScript and CSS inside the public folder, and in here we're going to be having the. Sorry, I need to have this inside the public. We're going to be having login.html, and we are going to have the register.html here, and in the views we're going to have index.ejs. It is like home.ejs or main.ejs. EJS is just simple HTML. Just we can access. It's just on the server side. It can read data from the backend. So that's all about EJS, and we're going to have normal file. Index.javascript that's going to be created on the outside. This is going to be our server management stuff. Actually, the main file that's going to manage every single thing from everywhere. And in the root section, we're going to make a file named as db config.javascript. This is actually going to be managing our database. We're gonna put our database host, blah, every single stuff here, and whenever we need the host in our database in any of our files, we're just gonna import this one instead of writing the whole code by itself. So first of all, we need to run the exam. Exam can be used to run the MySQL server on your browser stuff. We're gonna open the browser, and when we open the browser, let me just go there. I'm gonna search for localhost/phpMyAdmin, and the phpMyAdmin is actually gonna control every single thing that's gonna happen here. So we're gonna so I'm just going to drop the database. One second. Now I'm gonna make a new database with the name of SQL login. I'm gonna create a database. And the columns, we're gonna have the user, and the column should be only 3. We're gonna have only the ID, email, and password. You can have more columns. You can have email, username, phone number, password. I'm going to show you. I have already done that, and I have made the database much more complicated, and that's really good practice. You should do that, but we will talk about that later on. In the name, we're gonna have the ID first of all. ID should be integer type, and it should have the index of primary. That means unique. The IDs cannot be repeated, and it should be auto increment. That means for every user, the ID is going to be increased by 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and to infinity. And then we're gonna have the email. Email should be varchar. That means a character or a text. Now here we need to put the length. That's going to be 100, because the email can be the most 100 characters in length. Then we're going to be having the password, and password is going to be text, and we will not mention any length because text can be so big, because we're gonna hash the password. It can become so big, so we don't know what can be the limit. So we're just saving it like that, and you can see we have our database set it up here. Now we're gonna go back to our main page, and here what we have to do, we're just gonna say constant SQL is equal to require MySQL, and constant dot environment. No, actually we don't have to mention dot environment here. So we're gonna say constant database is equal to SQL dot create connection. Here first we need to mention the host, then we need to mention the user, okay, then we need to mention the password, then we need to mention the database itself. At the end we're gonna say model.export is equal to db. We're gonna export the db and we're gonna access it anywhere we want to. Now here we're gonna make a environment variable dot, we're gonna make a dot environment. Here we're gonna say host, database host is equal to, we're hosting it as on localhost. It will be hosted on localhost anywhere you upload it online, it doesn't matter, the host will be same. And the database user can be changed, will be the username that you created for your database online, or if you're using on local PC it will be root. And then database underscore password, in our case it's nothing, we didn't give it any password, so it's passwordless. And the database is SQL underscore login that we just made with the name. You can just name the here database with any of the name you want to. Now we need to import the same things by typing process.environment dot database underscore host. The process.environment will actually, you know, read this variable from the process.environment, from the environment variables. It's much more secure than directly putting the string here around. So we're going to be changing this one to user, this one to normal. Okay, sorry, my mom had came here. So now we have set it up our database right there. Now in the index.javascript file, this is going to be our main like app.js file. And what we're going to say, we're going to say constant express is equal to, we're going to require the express. It's just basic syntax for getting the express in, and constant db is equal to require. We're going to require this one that we just got from the root slash db config. We're gonna import it as db. We're also gonna connect the database in the index of JavaScript so that we don't have to connect the database anywhere else. I'm gonna say app is equal to express. I love express personally, not gonna lie. We're also gonna get the cookie as we're also gonna parse the cookie parser because we will be using it later on, so it really doesn't matter. We get it now or later. I'm gonna say app.use. Now we will be using this as okay, we're gonna be using we're gonna read the slash JavaScript. Otherwise if we're not gonna do this in the normal index register.html, you need to mention like slash public slash, you need to go to the root directory. But if you're just gonna mention in the here, you just have to access that file directly, it will work fine. You need to go like express dot static underscore directory name plus dot slash public and slash JavaScript slash CSS if we might need it, just in case. Okay, in app dot set view engine to EJS and app dot set views to dot slash views, because the views folder is located in the dot slash views. We're gonna set the views to dot slash views. You cannot rename this like to only view because views is the default name, so we need to just put it like that. Okay, so we have set the views engine here. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna go like app.use. We're gonna using the cookie parser. We already have this cookie. It's just the same thing, and they're gonna say app.use. We're using the express.json. so that we can read the JSON files that we're gonna get from the user register.html page or the login.html page. We're also gonna set up our port as constant. Port is going to be the either process.environment.port is gonna get the port from the process environment itself, or it's gonna be 5000. So app.listen to port, and we also need to connect our database. We're gonna say db.database.connect. I'm gonna get the error if there's some error. If error, throw error. Otherwise, console.log database connected, and we made it till here. What we're gonna do, we're gonna test it out. Type nodemon. Okay, access denied. Localhost using password, no. Alright, so we got some issues. MySQL underscore login, we need to check that. Okay. So we cannot access the .environment files without putting a .env is equal to require .env.config. Okay, I need to put it not here, but here. Database connected. Okay, now let me show you. If I put this one thing wrong, start the server again, database failed to connect. So you can see now our servers are working fine. I'm gonna remove this console.log. We're only gonna throw the error if something is up with the thing. Now in the roots file, we're gonna make a file name with pages.javascript. Okay, so here in the I'm gonna use express is equal to require express. I'm gonna have the router is equal to express.router, and here we're gonna get the file from the slash. I'm gonna do the request and the response. We're gonna first of all say response.render. Index is gonna be our EJS file, so on slash register and slash login. I'm gonna say response.send file. This.html in the root of slash dot slash public slash. I have to mention the slash here, so it's fine. So login.html, just like that, and the module.export is equal to router. I'm going to be exporting this here in the index of JavaScript. I'm going to import it as app.use slash, and then the main one require dot slash root slash pates. It's going to read it like that, and I will show you how it works. But first of all, let's set up our controllers also. I'm gonna have authentication.javascript, our register.javascript, our login.javascript, our login.javascript, our logout.javascript. Authentication is going to be express is equal to require express, and the constant router is going to be express.router. I'm going to make a post request, set a post at slash register, and it's going to have a function. It's going to run a function. It's going to run the function of register. Okay, post request add login, and get request add logout. It's going to be get request because we're not going to post anything, just to get. Okay, so we're gonna import these files. as register is going to be require slash register login logout login. We don't need to use a login here, so one will export is equal to router. For now it's gonna throw us error if we're gonna import it right there. So we're gonna do it like that, and just close the files, and here I'm gonna say app.use as /API. So when we go to slash, let me show you an example. When we go to /API/register, then we're gonna access this one, so like that. Is /control/ authentication. Now it's working fine. If I enable something, let me show you. If I enable this one, it's going to throw us error. See? Because it's not defined yet. We're going to define it now. Let me just set up my project. Home page. And the login page. Register page. We will be using Bootstrap, so go here, get Bootstrap, just copy this one here. Let me just go back, paste it here in the great, 1 second, paste it here, and paste it here. Okay, so now we need to navbar, so we can go here, navbar. Need any basic one, doesn't matter. We'll copy this one, and go back here, and paste it here. We'll remain a few of them. Just gonna here keep the register one, the login one. It's gonna have /register. It's gonna go to /login, and home is home. I'm gonna save this one too. Home page, light doc. Now we will just copy this all, get it small like that. Register page, we will remove the register one, just put the login on there. Register, copying this one, let's go paste it here. Login page, we need to change this to register. It's going to be /register and login. Now we will get a form, a card. First of all, card is going to look like that. I'm going to put it here first. Okay, first of all, let's just make a div.container. Inside this one, we posting this one. It's going to have the length of 100%, and card title is going to be welcome back, welcome to the site. Another link along the link, we don't need them. Button with the class of btn primary is going to be login, it's going to be register, /login, /register, the capital R, like that, and copy this one, paste it here. Get rid of these, get rid of this also. Register form, and it's going to have a form just like this one. We just need the email address. Okay, so the ID is going to be email. Password is going to be password. We're gonna remove the third one. Register. Form on submit should return false, so it's not gonna reload the page, and the ID is going to be form. Here it is. Copy the whole container. Okay, login form. Here it is required by nothing.
Oh.
Remove that. Okay. Name it to login.
Right, quotation है उनमें कौन से? वाला बता स्कूल का सुधरावा?
Okay. JavaScript slash. Okay, we don't have anything in the JavaScript right now. Let me make it JavaScript and log in the JavaScript.
Nice.
Login. Okay, so you go. We're gonna have so we're gonna have a register JavaScript now here connected with this one. I'm gonna show you what we're gonna put in that one. For the index.ags, we're not gonna have any JavaScript files because we cannot. That's the issue. In the container, we're gonna have a little bit of margin on the top for every single container. These are just basic bootstrap syntaxes that you should probably learn. You shouldn't learn it. You'll get to know it by yourself when you're gonna copy paste so many bootstrap elements. I guarantee you're gonna know it by yourself. Now we have set it up some of the basic things like that. Now what we do is just go to register. Say form dot add event listener of submit arrow function. I'm gonna say constant register array. It's gonna be email is going to be email.value, and password is going to be password.value. If the email and password is ID, then we don't have to mention them here. As you can see, they are IDs, so we don't have to go like document.getElement by ID. You can just directly put them here. So I'm gonna make a fetch request, fetch on /API/ register. I'm gonna say method is going to be post, and the body is going to be JSON.stringify. I'm gonna stringify the text before sending. I'm gonna send the register, and I'm gonna have the headers. I have the headers like content type. It's gonna be application / JSON. Now I'm gonna have a dot then response. I'm gonna take the response as JSON. I'm gonna get the data, and now we will be managing the data. Okay, so we're gonna be giving some response to the data. I'm gonna say if data.status is equal to error, then we're gonna also import the element here. Let's copy any random one. Let's go back. Go to register. Put it just off the register. I'm gonna be putting two of them. 1 second. Alert danger and alert success. And the ID of success is gonna have the ID of error. Okay, now I'm gonna manage them here. I'm gonna say if we got error, then what we have to do is just success dot style dot display should be equal to block, because we're gonna make it. Okay, we're gonna both of them. In both of them, we're gonna make the style display none. It's gonna be invisible unless until we don't want it to be visible. It to be block, and error dot style dot display should be equal to, this one should be none. Okay, and error dot inner text should be equal to data dot error. Is going to be another, you know, value we're going to give it. We're going to give it two elements, first two values, status in the error. Okay, let's go to the register. Yeah, I'm going to copy both of them. I'm going to be pasting them into the login one also. Disable this one. Otherwise, I'm going to say copy same thing. It's going to be pasted into here, but this time the success is going to be, you know, kind of like a reciprocal. We're going to be putting the success instead of here. We're going to make the display of error as none, and we're going to have the success display as that. We're going to get the data dot success. I'm going to show you how we're going to sending. We're going to be, if something's going to happen in the backend, we're going to go like response.json, send the JSON to the user, and we're going to grab the JSON like this one. Just copy the whole stuff like that and paste it inside the login.json, and just change this one constant to login /login /login. That's all. We're gonna use the same responses to both of them. It's gonna be pretty much fun. You can see where I'm setting up this thing real quick because I don't want to waste most of our time. You can later on understand what I'm just trying to do. This is a basic fetch you know, things that we can use to pose a request, something like that. And yep, we're gonna be close. I think this we're probably done here, right? Well, do I have connected with both of them? Register? Yep, I do have connected with them. Now in the index.js JavaScript file, we're gonna have some basic things like that. Nothing much of a creepy stuff. Okay, pages are set up. We have a lot of things set up already. Now I'm gonna go like clear. I'm gonna start my node server. Let's go back here. Now let's run localhost /5000. Okay, what's something is not good. Something is not good. Let me go back to my homepage, index.js JavaScript. Color is going to be white, and the color is going to be white also. We want the text decoration to be none. Okay, now if you go back to here, we can reload it. We can see welcome to the site, code blah blah, some quick text, login, register. You can just click on it and it will redirect us to the login page. If you're going to click on the register, it's going to lead us to the register form. You can see register form and login form. Currently nothing is going to happen because we don't have any backend, and we can actually show, you can actually test if you're going to put anything in the email address. It's going to work fine. Now let's go back here in the register. I forgot something. We need to put auto complete as off, and we need to make it required so that someone doesn't just submits the form. We need to do this in here also. Okay, it should be fine now. Now let's set up the backend. So we're gonna send the email and password in the JSON format, like I showed you in here. I'm gonna send it in the JSON. That's gonna have the email. We're gonna send it at the two of the variable, actually, like, you know, two of the elements, variables, email and the password. There's gonna be the email. That's gonna come the email value and password value. So that's pretty fine. Now we're gonna go to the actual authentication, where we're gonna manage the things. Pretty fine. Now let me just enable this register one. It's gonna throw us some error down below, but for just some time, we're gonna get the database first of all. We're gonna require /. We need to go 2 levels back to route database config, and we need to have the bcrypt is gonna encrypt our password, then we're gonna submit it to our database bcrypt.javascript, and that's all. We need to have a constant register now. That's gonna be asynchronous function. We're gonna have request and the response, and I'm gonna say module.export is equal to register. Now we're not gonna have any error because now we are exporting this thing. So now what we're gonna do is the asynchronous function, because the bcrypt will actually hash our password, and it can take a little bit of time, like few seconds, like 2 or 3 seconds or 1 or 2 seconds. So obviously JavaScript just runs quickly, like so quick, it will not wait for it. So we need to have the await function to wait actually for the password to get hashed. So that's why we're using this one. Now what we are going to do, first of all, we're gonna have a check. We're gonna read the request files. We're gonna have them as email. Read the password is equal to request.body. This is actually quick way of doing that. It's actually going to be like request.body.email and request.body.password, and you can show this password as normal and password. That means normal password. So the password is the request.body. The password is going to be saved as end password instead of saving as constant password itself, because the password we're gonna save is gonna be hashed. So that's why we're gonna doing this. We're gonna say if there is no email or there is no end password, then what you wanna do, go like return the response.json. We're gonna return the status. The status is going to be error, and the error itself is going to be please enter your email and a password. This just kind of like a protection, like if somebody managed to bypass the form validation thing, he just submitted the form. I'm gonna check it here first of all. If this was done, I'm gonna say else. Then I'm gonna go like database.query. We're gonna put a database query. We're actually gonna check if the email was already registered before or not. We're gonna say select email from users. We have made the table of users where email is equal to. We're gonna be giving it like email, and with this gonna return an error and a result. Manage that like that. And we need to make this thing async. You can put so many else if conditions here, like you want to check if the phone number is already present, then do like that. You just don't put it like db.query another time. Just put it inside this one. Just put it inside the else statement here, and then I'm going to say if, then else, then if, and else. Make your branch deep inside, and you need to make sure to put the async function. Async. You don't have to put the async on every single function you go in. Only put the async on that db.query in which you actually want to use the await function, and you need to make sure to put the register as async, and then only then that of the db.query function as the async. That's pretty same. I'm gonna say if error, throw the error. I'm gonna just throw the error, and if we got any result, that means the email has been already registered. If we're gonna take a look at that. We're gonna say if result. That means if there is some result, return response.json back to the user. I'm gonna return the same stuff. Instead of saying this error, I'm gonna say email has already been registered. Else, if this thing was successful, what we wanna do now, we're gonna have constant password as hashed password. That's gonna be bcrypt.hash. It's gonna hash our password. It's gonna first of all contain have our normal password and the cycles of how many number of times you wanna hash it. The 8 is a good cycle. It's not gonna put a lot of load on your server, and it's pretty fine. You can also do 10 if you want to. So we say 8 is the normal one. Hackers cannot hack it anyway, so 8 is perfect. Now what we want to do, we're going to run another db query. We're going to say insert into users set is going to actually insert the values inside of our email, inside of our server database of table. We're gonna have the email as email. So first one is going to be the name of the column that you have set it in the database. We have named it as email, and then we're gonna be putting it as this email. And now we're gonna have the password. We have another one database, another column that's named saved with the name of password. I'm gonna be putting it as the hashed password right here. And we don't have to mention the ID because that's gonna be auto increment and primary, so we don't have to mention it like that. Now we're gonna be having the error and the results, and always make sure like you're going inside. You should not repeat the results and error spelling like that. You can do it, you can name it whatever you want, just don't repeat it, because you're not gonna actually know if the error is of this one's error or this one's error. And you need to make sure, and don't put the result as rest. I have done that before, and the response.json wasn't working. They were saying, yeah, we cannot do it because you have mentioned the name as here. I'm gonna say if there's some error, you always want to throw the error if there's some error, okay? Because if there's some error, that means your database cannot work fine, and if you're still gonna continue the process, your database is gonna be in extreme trouble. You can get into exploitation. It's better to shut down your database at this time and fix the error first, then continue, okay? So otherwise, if everything is done, what we want to do, return response.json. Okay, status it's gonna be success this time, and the success is going to be okay, user has been registered. We're gonna show this one to the user back, and we're pretty much done already here. So this is how we're gonna register the user. At the end of this video, I'm gonna show you an extreme MySQL project that I made by myself. I'll put it, email validation. I'm gonna send the email to the user emails. He's gonna verify the email. Then he's gonna log in. Then he's gonna refer. He's gonna first level refer. He's gonna get points. He's gonna get stuff. He's gonna get so many information. I made that so much complicated. You need to do that by your own. And I will just show you an example in the browser how it's going. Now we're gonna make our login function here. So that's login. It's gonna throw us error because we don't have anything here. Now it's gonna get JWT first of all. That means it's gonna have the JSON web token. That's gonna make cookie. We're gonna make cookie in the login when the user is logged in, and we wanna set it as in the cookie. And we also wanna get the we want to get the database connected, because we want to check the database in this case, and we also need the bcrypt, because we want to compare the password. If the password is right, then only we want the user to go in. Let's name it as only bcrypt, not JavaScript bcrypt. Constant login is going to be an asynchronous function also, because when you're managing, when you're doing stuff with the database, it should be always asynchronous function. Unless you're not gonna use any await function, just don't make it async. It doesn't make sense. I've seen many people say if you're gonna do stuff with the database, just make it async. But async doesn't matter if you're not gonna use the await function. So it doesn't matter, okay? Just use it normally, or if you want to use the await anywhere, you can just make it async. So in the login section, what we wanna do, we wanna do the same thing that we did here. We're gonna get the password, but in here we're gonna say constant email. We're gonna get the email and the password. We don't want to save it as the password as anything, because now we're gonna compare the password directly from the database. We don't want to hash it, okay? Now let me put like that. Let me replace it like that. Same response, and if it's not the case, we're gonna say db.query. I'm gonna say select same syntax. Select email from users where email is equal to. I'm gonna give the email like that. We're gonna get the error or result, and this one is going to be asynchronous also. Okay, so now I'm going to be putting the asynchronous like that. Now here what we want to do, we're going to say first of all if error, then throw error. Okay, otherwise if there's we got any like the we're gonna say, look here, when you want to put a test, you want to see if the email is there. If it's not, then show the user if email is not there, and if the password is not equal, just show the user password is not equal. But you don't need to show him two different responses like email is not registered or password is incorrect. You need to show him a same response for both of these problems, otherwise he's gonna brute force your server. And I'm gonna say if result 0 is there, is not there. If it's not there, or if wait, now we're gonna use the bigcrypt.compare. Bigcrypt.compare is actually gonna compare our password, normal password that we're getting it from right now, with the password that we have in the server. If there was something in the server dot password, if any of this condition match, what we wanna do, we wanna just return, we can just make it in one line also. So return response.json, same returning status error, and the error is going to be incorrect email or password. You can see now we cannot brute force our server. Otherwise, if this thing was done, if this thing was correct, now you want to save the cookie. We're gonna first of all save a token. We're gonna get the token as jwt.sign. Here, first of all, they're saying you need three things. You need first of all the string that you want to sign it as, what things you want to put into the cookie value. I will just always prefer you to put only ID. Just don't put any confidential details, because the cookie can be checked in the browser that what's the value of the cookie. I will show you that. And then we need to put the secret key. Then we need to put the sign-in options. So first of all, we're going to be putting the result 0. 0 is going to be the first, it's gonna be an array, and we need to access the first index of the array. That's going to be 0. And of course, if you have any result, that's going to be only one result. We're not letting the user sign up to email with the same account, to sign up 2 accounts with the same email. So we need to access like 0.id. We're going to give it ID, and then we need to give it the secret key. The secret key should be always saved in the environment variables. I'm going to say jwt_secret is equal to, just put any random string, just put any ultimate difficult, that's never gonna be okay. Just don't put any spaces, just put it so hard. You can also put any spaces, it doesn't matter, because it's going to be string anyway. You're gonna say got it from process.environment.jwt secret, and then another at the end we're gonna have the expires in when it's going to expire. We're also going to get that from the environment. When I say environment.jwt expires, and here you cannot just put your object like that. If you're gonna use the options, you need to put this item as an object. So we're gonna do like that. We're gonna put it inside the object. We're gonna say id is equal to that. So now it's gonna be saved as a object, otherwise it's gonna show you error. So you need to save this id is equal to this one, and this is the secret key, and this is the one. In the browser, when you will check the value of the cookie, they're going to show you when it's going to expire, and what is the ID that we're passing it. You can check this actually. Anyone can check his cookie's ID, whatever values are passing it, and he can check when it's going to expire and when it was created. So now I'm going to make it constant cookie options. Because it's going to be also array that's going to have expires in option. Expires in we're going to get it from the process.environment.cookie expires, and we're going to have a HTTP only function, so that it's going to only work in the HTTP environment. The cookies should not be working in any other environment. You can put the same thing for here. You can also put HTTP only for that one, so it doesn't really matter. Now we're going to be in the here, we put the secret, we're going to be jwt expire is equal to something, and the cookie expires is equal to that. Now jwt expires, we're going to be putting it normally 90 days, because it's just going to be string. It's going to be 90 days. You can only put it like 90 days or 90 hours or 90 seconds. Just put 90 days and do your research how you can put it. But the cookie expires an option, you cannot put the cookie expires an option like this one. You cannot put it like this. You need to put it as a millisecond. So how are we gonna put it as milliseconds? Let me show you. You need to put here 90. That means you're gonna be putting it for 90 days. So that means 3 months. And we're just gonna copy this one. I'm gonna save it as new date. I'm gonna create a new date when it's gonna expire. That's gonna be, first of all, our current date plus the 90 day, and so we need to convert the 90 days. The date dot now actually returns the milliseconds, and we need to convert this 90 to millisecond. We're gonna first of all multiply it by 24 hours. A day has 24 hours, and 24 hours has an hour has 60 seconds and 60 minutes, and a minute has 60 seconds, and a second has 1000 milliseconds. So that's how we're gonna convert it into a millisecond. So that is pretty easy. Now we're gonna actually set up the cookie. When I send the response.cookie, like that, we set up the cookie. You can see they're showing you first of all the name of the cookie, then the value of the cookie, and the options that we're gonna give it to save the cookie. Okay, perfect. Now first of all, we're gonna use the name. We're gonna say user registered, and then we need to give it a value. So value is token. That we already made the token. First of all, that's gonna have our ID, and the options are the cookie options. All right. Now we're gonna return the thing back. We're gonna return response.json. We're gonna return status. That's gonna be success, and we're gonna and we're gonna return the success. Another index of the JSON success. That's gonna have user has been logged in. And we're gonna save the cookie at this time. We're gonna save the cookie before, and after that we're gonna return the JSON. Okay, so we have done a lot of things till now. Now we're gonna do a few more things, then we're gonna actually test out every single thing. You can see it was not much of a difficult task. It was pretty easy setting up the cookie stuff. Now we're gonna set up our login page to check if the user is logged in or not. Here, first of all, what we need okay, so we just need what we need to check the login. Let me just first of all make the login in is equal to be an normal request and response. Okay, we need the database. I'm going to explain it. The database is equal to require /root/dbconfig. So actually, I think I might need to just test it out before I'm doing all of the stuffs here. So what we're gonna do in the register, actually gonna console the log few other things so that the thing is going to be much more clear. Console the log email, and I'm gonna actually console the log the hashed password. So the things are going to be much more clear for both of us. Now let's go back to the register page. We're going to open the F12. We're going to go to the network setting. Here every single of our post and get requests are going to be saved. Okay, /register connection aborted. So it's not actually connecting. Now I think I know what to do. We need to go to the 1 second. I'll just get you to the main page, but let me just check what can be the issue. The issue can be what can be the issue. Okay, the issue was I had put it, I'm going to show you, I had put it a dot here. We don't need to put the dot, so the issue has been fixed. Now if you're going to refresh, you're going to save it as Elderny, then at gmail.com. I'm going to try to register. Actually the HTML is not going to let us. I'm going to save it as hello. Now let's go to network. It's going to have all of our things. You can see here. Just refresh it. Now register. Okay, user has been registered successfully. Now we got the network. We're gonna say we have sent it a network fetch request in the payload. This is what we sent to the database. We send to the backend. We send the email as elderny@gmail.com and the password. And the response we got status success. Success is user has been registered. Now let's try to register with the same email again. Email has already been registered. Now you can see we did the same thing in the payload, but the response was email has already been registered. Now let's see in the users that we all are actually saved the user. Okay, so object promise. So the issue is, let me just go back to here. Let me just show you what's the issue. here bcrypt. We need to actually await for this function. This is, like I told you before, we need to await. So that was the issue. Now if we're gonna go back to here, refresh it, we're gonna delete this one first of all from the database, and we're gonna run a little bit of command so that our auto increment is gonna start from 1 again. Alter table users auto increment is equal to 1. Okay, perfect. So now we're gonna refresh it, clean all the send requests, Elderny edit of gmail.com. Hello, register, user has been registered. Now let's go back here. You can see the password is, it has encrypted the password. Let me show you to the here. You can see we got the email and we got the password. Like you can see, I console log email, I console log the hashed password. So it actually hashes the password. That's really great thing. Now let's go back to the second screen. Let's try to register again. Email has already been registered, it doesn't matter. Now let's change the password and let's see if we can register now. No, email has already registered. Why don't you listen to me? Let me just change this one. The user has been registered. You can see here we registered another user, and you can see we have different things. Even if the password will be same, it's gonna have different cycles to be run. Now in the here you can see when you go into the login option. Now if we're gonna log in using the elderny@gmail.com, wrong password. Okay, we have some issues. Illegal argument, string undefined. Okay, so let's go back to here and let's check what's the issue. We got the issue on the login 11 bcrypt.compare password with the result of password. Alright, so okay, so the issue can be, we're comparing the password with the password stored in the database. Here I'm gonna say it as length, okay? And let's go back here. Let's refresh it. Elderny edit of gmail.com. Hello, make a request. Okay, still pending, so we're still getting the same error. Let's go back to our main screen and let's try to figure out the issue. There's an illegal argument, string undefined. Illegal argument, string undefined. Okay, it just disappeared, but it is happening in this line. Response validation. What is triggering response validation? What's undefined? I'm not sure. Let me just make it another one. Okay, I'm just checking what can be the issue. First the page. Okay, so here you go. We have the issue at 11, 49 character. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. Probably it's gonna be result. This one, it's not really like the user is not there, so how we can read it anyway. So that's why I'm putting this comparison here. If result dot land is returning false, so it should do like that. So guys, I'll meet you in the next video, and we'll figure out the problem there. Okay, bye bye. Hey guys, welcome to this video, and today we're gonna actually complete the website totally. So we had some issues before. So the issue was that we're checking the result 0.password, but while we're selecting on email, we're not gonna get any password, so we just select everything from users, and now everything is going to be work fine as hell. I'm really excited. Now here we're gonna remove a few of the things. I think I had console log something. Let me just go back here. Save it as elderny@gmail.com. Hello. HELLO1. Wrong password, incorrect email and password. So you can see we're actually in the payload we're sending the email and password. In the response we're going to say incorrect email or password. These are the headers that were being sent. Header doesn't make sense, but this is a content type application/JSON. Like I told you, you can just, like we set it up before. So well, yeah, it does make sense. We're sending it as a JSON file, and yep, we're getting the request from API/API/login. Now if the password is correct, you can see in the application we don't have anything if you're gonna set it like that. Okay, so now the issue is we need to remove the HTTP only from the token one. We cannot put it there. Let's go back here. You can see console log, or if we're gonna say login, user has been logged in. How much great. And you can see in the cookies we have made a cookie with the name of user registered, and the value is this, and the size is this, expires in this. Like I told you before, you can see the cookie is a big value of chunks. In total it has three things. First of all, it's gonna have where is the cookie made in, and second one is going to be the option. It's actually going to be like a name of the cookie, stuff like that. And the last one is going to be the secret key, hashed secret. It's going to be the secret key. And if we made any change to the cookie value here from this dot to this dot, if you made any change, and it's going to check this cookie with this key, with this secret key, and if it did not match the actual thing that we have in our database, or the ID, like stuff like that, it doesn't match this secret key, it's going to show us an error. I'm going to explain you that in the here console. You can just say HEOB. Okay, we can just HEOB. We can just put the value here, hit enter, so you can see, oh my god, this is a hacking situation. So it's not like a hacking situation, but you can see we use HEOB and we put the value of a cookie. Now we can see we got the ID. IAT means when the cookie was made, in the milliseconds of the date, and expiry means when it's going to be expired. And now what we can do, if we're just gonna copy this thing, and we can see BTOA, that's gonna make our value for the cookie. And if we are going to change something, make this one small, so it's gonna actually not throw us any error. Okay, now let's say we want the cookie time to be increased. We want to increase the cookie time. We want it is 164499999. Let's say we want the cookie for ID number 2. Here, the ID number 2, we want to be registered as ID number 2. What's about that? We're gonna hit enter. As you can see, the cookie is pretty same, but there's some change. The cookies are pretty same, but you can see we have EYDP, but here we have EYJP. Now, if we're gonna copy this one cookie instead that we just made for the ID number 2, and what are we gonna do? If we're gonna edit the value of the cookie, I'm gonna find another dot, I'm gonna put it like that. Now if you're gonna go back to the home page, for now it will not work, so I need to make it work. Alright, and to make it work I have to go back here. We have to do some stuff. So first of all, in the login, I want to have on top, I want to have another one with the name of home. There's going to be go to / home. In the register one, I want that one too. Okay, now in the home, in the EJS, we're actually gonna do some stuffs. we have register and login. Okay, we have this one. We're gonna be putting some conditions using our EJS statement. We're gonna say, let me just show you what actually we're gonna do. We're gonna do the stuff in the login stuff, but I wanted to show you the cookie stuff. The cookie is working fine, and we're gonna test the cookie after some time. Now we can see. Now we know everything about the cookie. We can say like module.export is equal to login. And now here, first of all, what we're gonna do, we're gonna say if request.cookies.user registered. This is going to be the name of the cookie that we're gonna check. We're gonna say if this cookie is not there, first of all we need to check if the cookie is there or not. The normal cookie, okay? We're gonna check if the cookie is not there. What we wanna do, we also wanna have a return response. Request response next, because this is going to be middleware of our page stuff, so we need to make it a next one also. If something happened, we want to also run the next one. Let me show you that. You want to export it first of all. I'm gonna go like constant login is equal to require dot slash controllers dot slash controllers slash login. It's going to be our middleware function. It's gonna work as like that. It's gonna check every single response in login, and then it's gonna go next, and it's gonna move ahead. So that's how it's gonna work. I'm gonna return next if it's not that, just return next. Now I'm gonna have a try catch block, because while we're dealing with the asynchronous function, we should mostly have the try catch block if something happened. And we are putting try catch in this condition because we really want to run the next anyway. We cannot stop the person from if we have any problems in the validation, we cannot stop him from anything. So I'm gonna say catch error, if error, return next. We don't care. You can put the error inside the next, so you can just check it later on. Now if we got till here, if the cookie is there, we're gonna verify the cookie. We're gonna say database.query. Okay, select. First of all, we're gonna be using the constant decoded, and this is going to be an asynchronous function. Not an asynchronous, sorry. The constant decoded is going to be the JWT. We need the JWT here. JWT is actually gonna JSON web token is gonna verify the token if it's correct or not. JWT.verify. You can see verify takes first of all the string, and it takes the secret key. So if we need to give it our secret key, then it's gonna check if the thing is correct or not. And the first of all, what we wanna give it this, our cookie. Then we wanna give it our secret key. That's gonna be process environment dot JWT underscore secret, and verify options. We know how to get the verify options. This is pretty fine. And we're gonna say select everything, because we want to return it back to the server, everything of a user. Then we can show it on our home screen. Select everything from users where ID is equal to, like I showed you, our JSON, our value has three things: the ID, the IAT when it was created, the expiry when it will be expired. So we're gonna say decoded the ID is gonna actually have the ID value, and it's gonna have the error and the result. Do it like that. I'm gonna say if there's some error, return next. Just don't stop. Just return next every single time if something happened. Otherwise, I'm gonna be setting the request.user as is equal to result 0, and then we're gonna return next. So the request.user, we're setting about the request.user only because if we're gonna go to the pages here, we can access the user.request here, and we can give it as it back to this this index file as an status as a JSON. So that's going to be really good. You can see we have the request.user. So now what we're gonna do, let's say if request.user, if there is request.user, just show this, otherwise show this. Okay, we're gonna have in here we're gonna give it first of all the status of OK, and the status OK is going to be, otherwise what we can do, we can make it much better. Status login, it's like more like making it clean, and user is going to be request.user. I'm gonna give the same thing to here. Status no, and user.request user, we're gonna give it as nothing. You feel me? You like that, nothing. So in the in here, what we're gonna do, we just made those the conditions right there. We'll make another one. You can make here a profile for the user, because if the user is logged in, he can check his profile and he can log out also. We're gonna have the logout option here. You can log out like that. Well, now we're gonna make a condition. If user status is equal to OK, and we're gonna do percentage, otherwise if it's not logged in. Okay, I messed up the conditions, but I'm gonna fix it right now, like that. We need to do this one here. I need to put this one here and this one there. So now it's gonna be working fine. Otherwise this and this gonna be profile as log, like that. I'm gonna have here condition also, the same condition. If user status is equal like that, having this, otherwise I have something, and something is going to be something. I'm gonna have this normally, otherwise if this is gonna be this, we're gonna have an EJS thing, percentage is equal to user.user. Okay, status. One second, let me just check what I'm just sending back. We're sending the status and the user. If status is equal to user, then show the user.email here. Right? User. Not user.status, just the status. Normally we're going to show welcome to the site for the offline guys, and you can put the condition here for the profile and stuff. Let's just put it there. Okay. If else, and then close the else. Profile, logout. Now you can see probably we have set it up a lot of things right here. So now what's gonna happen? Now let me show you something like we were doing before. Let's actually test it out. So this is actually our main page right there. Now you can see we did the cookies, and now we're not getting anything response. We're not getting anything in particular. Let me delete all of the values from the database. It's going to be much better. Let's go to register. Let's register with the elderny@gmail.com. Password is going to be hello. User has been registered. Try to register the same. You cannot register. It has already been registered. Let's go to login. Let's go to our home page again. Nothing is happening here. Let's go to login. Let's register the same email. Wrong password. incorrect email or password. Correct password, incorrect email or password, correct password. Login, user has been logged in, we got the cookie. Now if we're gonna go back to the home page, okay, in the home page we're actually not getting shown what we should have there, so let's take a look at that. If status is equal to okay, show this. Okay, we're not actually showing it as okay, we need to show it as logged in. Alright, get our page back. You can see we have the Elderny @gmail.com. And now let's just we're gonna have to set up anything for the logout, so we're just gonna clear the cookie, refresh. Let's just register another account for the Elderny121 @gmail.com. It's gonna have the ID, a different ID. Hello, registered, login, Elderny121. Hello, login. Go back to home, and here you can see we have the cookie. Now in the users, in the MySQL, you can see we have the ID of 3 and 4. And if we are about to change something from the cookie, we're gonna, well, let's say we want to try to access the second cookie, you know, the ID of second. We're just gonna go like do. We're just gonna copy this one, console HEOB whenever it was created, hit enter. Now I'm gonna say BTOA. We're just gonna copy all of the stuff from here, pasting this here, and I'm gonna change this one ID up to from 4 to 3. It's like, you know, we want to try to access, we want to change the cookies, we want to access the third person without being third person ourselves. Now we're gonna just copy this one. I'm gonna go to application. We're about to change something. Okay, now I'm gonna paste it here. Hit enter, refresh it. Welcome to the site. You can see we just made one single change, and everything just changed. Now if we're gonna do what? If we're gonna go like that, if we're gonna just copy our old cookie back that we had actual value. If you're gonna save it, refresh it, you can see welcome Elderny1, because they actually verified the cookie if single change has been done or not. And if you're gonna log in from the save, for the same one, it's gonna show us different. Okay, log it in. We need to change this one for this one also. So we're gonna set up our logout option also. Set up our log it in. Let's go to logout. It's not gonna have much of a thing. It's just gonna have constant logout is going to be equal to like that. And I'm gonna have module.export is equal to logout. So actually gonna have the request and the response. And when you get the cookie from the, we're gonna have like, you know, response dot, actually no, response dot clear cookie, and the cookie name is user registered, and response dot redirect to slash. It's gonna redirect us to the main page. So once we hit the logout option, we're just gonna get logged out. Let's just put the things to work. Let's see if it's working or not. Click logout, cannot get /logout. Okay, so we need to change the logout to /API/logout because we put the logout in there. Otherwise, what we can do, without putting it here, go to page, we can put it there, we're gonna put the logout. So it's gonna show us error because we didn't got this one. We need to get it like that. Okay, dot slash controller slash, and now it should be working fine. Okay, final test guys, refresh it. We have the cookie. Click on the logout. We are logged out successfully. We want to register email with the elderny1@gmail.com. Some password. Register email has been registered. So now if we're gonna register with the Elderny that we already have. Email is already present. I'm gonna look at login. This file name testing, elderny1@gmail.com. It's going to be hello1, wrong password, correct password, login. User has been logged in. You're gonna go to home, or you can just set up the database, you know, in the JavaScript to redirect you to this page. Welcome elderny1@gmail.com. You can see the profile, you can see the logout option. If we click on logout, we're gonna get logout out. And congratulations guys for making this far with me. I hope you already loved the videos. We really much did a lot of stuff, you know, in this one. And I will be uploading another playlist on the MongoDB. That's going to be NoSQL. We're going to do the same stuff but in MongoDB. That means NoSQL database, so it's going to be so much more fun. And now let me just show you some of the things, some database project, some actually, you know, database project that you should do, that I did when I started practicing before a week. So now let me just show you that. 1 second. Okay guys, let me show you how the project that I made. How is it? You can see I made some backend project. That's gonna be this website where you get 20 points per referral and 10 points per second level referral. Some basic, nothing. I'm gonna go to register page. We have I know this seems a little bit more, but you can do this. You need to do this by your own self. I'm just showing you an example. You can just sign up as some password. Username should be Elderny. Phone number is going to be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0. We don't have any referral code for now. We're just gonna register. Your user has Elderny has been registered. Please check your email to verify your account. Now let's say we're gonna log in our account. Please verify your email first. Email has already been sent. Are they serious? Let's see if they are. Let's go to 1. Okay, Elderny, please verify your email. You can see 0 minutes ago. I'm using Google API. You can also use this. Verify your email address. Dear Elderny, thanks for signing up by account with Elderny. Please click the link below, button below to verify your email address. Something like that. If you're gonna click here, it's a local host. You can see verifying your account success. Dear Elderny, your email has been verified. Just log in now. If you're gonna click here, now if you're gonna log in, you can log in now. You can see the system that I made, and in the profile page you're gonna see your username, email, phone number, referral ID, and the referral link. You will get both of them, and we got some options like change password and change username and delete account. So these are, you can do this much of stuff. And in the wallet I have the current balance, the active plan that I am using, how many referral points I've got, and I didn't use any referral code, so I got 0 points. I have 0 referrals. Total second referrals are 0. 10 points is equal to 1 rupee. You can withdraw the referral points. And now if you want to click to profile, I'm going to copy my referral ID. I'm going to go to logout, register new account with the different email. One Elderny. Phone number is going to be 1 2 3 your referral. I'm gonna do like that. Now here we're gonna change the account to this one. We should be getting okay, me. Okay, so this is actually the host, so I'm setting from mine to me. You can see here's your account, verify your account. If you want to go to verifying your account successfully. Now if I'm gonna log in, you can see in the profile section we have we were referred by Elderny. It's gonna show who I was referred by. It will not show to you if you're not referred anyone. In the wallet you can see I got 20 points, 0 referral, and basic plan. Now if I want to log out, and I'm about to log into using the previous account and go to the wallet, you can see I have 1 referral and I got a second level referrals 1. So probably this should be 0, and we're gonna fix this issue. It's not an issue. Like actually, what happened? Why it took me time? You might have seen the time here. Actually, the database was deleted. I need to make my database my own self. So this is not an issue. It's just a normal thing. We will fix this thing later on. But you can see we got 20 points because direct referrals will give us 1 point, and indirect referrals will give us 10 points. Let me show you that one also. Okay, let's go log out. Log into first hex. I'm gonna go to profile. Now let me copy this referral ID. I'm gonna show you the second level referral. So we have here first schemer also. A Elder 1212. Here's a referral ID. Now here we're gonna go to the account of first skimmer. We should have got the email here. Okay, 1 second. LDROM, please verify your email. 0 minutes ago. I'm gonna verify. So you can see where I'm generating a random email. So what's the actual thing? I'm just hosting it as a verify. I'm just getting a server as verify account, and the key is being a random key. I'm saving the key in the database, and later I'm just checking if the key is equal to the key I have here, and if it is, then verify the accounts and make the verify status from 0 to 1. And then I'm gonna just go login. I'm gonna go like first gamer, and unless until you will not log in, you will not get any referral points. The other user will not get any referral points. Yep. Now in the profile we have you were referred by Aldirom. I'm gonna log out. I'm gonna log into my first account, the whole first account. Okay, so 1 second. Alright, I think I need to fix something because the second level referral should be working. But at the end you got the thing. Now let me show you how I did this in this is actually the cool website, and I have 3 sections. First of all, referral section is going to have a referral ID, balance, referral points, the total referral, second referral, and long referral. So it's going to have the long referral, it's going to have something like that. And the users, we have the users here. We get the ID, name, phone, email, password, referral ID. The temporary URL is the verification URL, and verified will be 0 by default, and then we can change it later on. This is the referral, and the user plans is going to have the ID in basic plan, advanced plan, or pro plan. And by default, everyone is going to have the basic plan. If later you can do something, you can change it to the advanced or pro plan. So, well, that was it for this video. I hope you already enjoyed this series, and I will meet you in the next series. And bye bye, and love you guys.